Jerusalem because they were killing each other on the borders north and south. So that's what we were having, that's what we were doing. And so these gay anarchists showed up and stole the thunder of the World Pride event. I thought it was a God thing. Take over corporate America to make Wall Street Gay Street. The Gay Chamber of Commerce. Did you know there's a Gay Chamber of Commerce? And they are extremely effective. They have been going to people and they've been talking about this. This study came out a few years ago, and I about went apoplectic. I mean, I was having seizures, strokes, the whole 9 yards because I couldn't believe what I was reading, and people were buying it. It's like, come on, it's Wall Street, do the math. Oh, that's right, we're in the mess we're in now because Wall Street can't do math. $800 billion, gay dollars in the U.S. for 2008. $800 billion. That's supposed to be the expendable income of the homosexual community in the United States of America. I'm sitting there scratching my heads. You know, gee, when I was in the gay lifestyle, I missed that gravy train. Where was that at? So I'm sitting there going, you mean to tell me that there's that kind of, do you know what? That's just impossible. So all these hairdressers and flight attendants and waiters, oh my gosh, well, they're not going to get a tip from me anymore. They got $800 billion. Duh. Based on the numbers in Lawrence versus Texas, everybody know what Lawrence versus Texas is? Lawrence versus Texas was the law to the United States Supreme Court where they absolutely removed sodomy from the sodomy laws from all of the country. This happened in 2003. But in an amicus brief on behalf of 31 gay activist groups, here's what they said, representing the homosexual community. 2.8% male, 1.4% female identify themselves as gay, lesbian, and bisexual. So they trumped that in there too. This makes every homosexual a millionaire 2 to 3 times over.
Wow.
Like I said, I missed it. The Lord got a hold of me before I got my million. And there ain't no millions now, I'm telling you. Okay. Jesus never said anything about homosexuality. You ever heard that garbage? That's one of the excuses I get. I want to go there if you don't mind. Matthew 19, 1 through 6. If you brought your Bibles. And I did, and I left it in my bag. But anyway, I know this scripture. We'll be all right. I think I did. In fact, could you, my bag's right there, and my Bible's in one of those pockets. Find it, Arthur? It's not in a scroll like the Torah. That's it. That's a Bible. Yes.
Can I roll it up?
You roll it up any way you want. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Arthur's actually helped us lobby in New Jersey on the marriage issue, so God bless him. Matthew chapter 19. I'm going to give you this because I get lots of excuses about homosexuality, and one of the things that the church has failed to is we don't know how to defend our own position.
That's right.
We don't know how to defend our own position. Matthew 19, verses 1 through 6. Now let me give you some background here, because I'm sick and tired of everybody portraying Jesus as this whammy-pamby, limp-wristed sissy. Jesus was, oh, he's so loving. Oh, Jesus. He's just love, 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 love. All that sloppy agape crap. So, no, he wasn't. Not at all. In fact, Jesus was so loving they killed him. All right? Jesus offended people. In fact, he actually insulted people. When he called Herod a fox, that was a pretty doggone dirty thing to say. You hypocrites, whitewashed sepulchres full of dead men's bones. That was a real serious offense. He insulted people. He called a woman a dog. Wow, that's a really loving guy. And so I want you to get notice of. Now Jesus here is going to be a little bit of a smart aleck here when we read this, because the Pharisees are coming to him. I'm going to do the preamble to this. The Pharisees are coming to him to ask him a question about marriage. And here's the thing about Pharisees, just so you know. See, Pharisees was an elective you took in college. You became a Pharisee at birth. You were born to be a Pharisee. And at age 4, you had to memorize the Torah. You had to memorize all 600 and some odd laws that are listed there. And of course, that's at age 4 now. We would call that child abuse now. But back then, you had to start memorizing the Torah at age 4. Now, so here's the point to this. So Jesus is being a little bit of a smart aleck here, so I'm laying this up. So they come to him and they say, Rabbi, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason? And Jesus comes back and says, haven't you read? Duh. You know, it's like, yes, you've read it. I know you've read it. And you know I know you've read it. And here's what he says. Now, this is participatory class. There will be a test. So I expect, you know, and the test is now. He says, have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? Stop right there. How did he make them?
Male and female.
Oh, isn't that amazing? It was man and woman. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve and Eve and Edith. No, it's the man and the woman, the masculine and the feminine, the male and the female. How about that? Wow, that's how he made them. Okay, let's go on. Fascinating stuff. And said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother. Who's he leaving? His father and his mother. What about that? He's leaving his father and his mother, his mom and dad, the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine. He's not leaving his daddy and daddy's roommate. He's not leaving his two mommies. No, he's leaving his mother and his father. By the way, how did the man get here? Duh! Two men together cannot make a baby in and of themselves, in and of their own individual biological genetic material. Two women can't do that either. It takes a man and a woman. You got to have the one and the other. You got to have the opposites to attract. Now, and said, for this reason, a man shall leave his mother and father and will be joined to his wife. Who's he joined to?
His wife.
Cleave to his wife. So it's the man to the woman, the masculine to the feminine. And then it says, and the two shall become one flesh. That means they have sex. He said sex, and he's talking about Christianity. Yes, I did, because God made it, not Hugh Hefner. It was God's idea, not Larry Flint's. So what is this? And then it says, therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. Now, what is he saying here? Jesus Christ, perfect God and sinless man in one body, is right here defining human sexuality and human behavior and human relationship and what a family is, and it's between a man and a woman and an offspring and nothing else. Hello? By the way, this isn't the only witness we have for that. It's also in Mark chapter 10, verses 6 through 9. And guess what Jesus is doing? He's quoting Genesis 1:27, Genesis 5:2, Genesis 2:24. And for those of us who are Christians, he has all the authority to do that because he was there. So when you get these excuses and this nonsense, it's time that Christianity and the church and those of us here, part of winning the lost, part of winning those who are confused, part of helping those people to become an ex-gay like me, well, they don't want to be like me, but to become an ex-gay is to also defend the truth and to do it in love. I'm sick and tired of this, though. Tell the truth in love. Ladies and gentlemen, it isn't love until you tell the truth. Jesus Christ was not seeker-friendly. He was friendly to the seeker.
Yes, that's right.
The big pink plan to make a lavender culture. Equality is control. Equality is dominance. And that is exactly what they want to do. That ends my talk for this presentation. I'll be happy to take questions. And we have time.
How does Zondervan change the gender of that scripture you just read?
That's a good question, because I'm certainly not even going to dignify it with even checking that out of the library.
I just can't believe it.
But they did it. And believe me, I'm on the homosexual blogs and things like that, and I get the emails, ooh, we got a gender-neutral Bible. So, yeah, they did do that.
Who's pushing for that? Who's pushing for that?
Well, a lot of people have been pushing for the Bible, but Zondervan stepped up to the plate, and some of you may know that Zondervan used to be a very fundamental Calvinist-owned organization, and they sold out to a secular group who saw the profit in Christian business and did that. And pardon?
$800 billion economy.
Yeah, they got an $800 billion economy. Not. Any other questions? Any other comments? I know I talk fast, and I hope you caught all of that, and there's so much more I could have said. And here's the only thing, I'm not even touching the tip of the iceberg. We're just giving you some basic, fundamental, information. There's the gay gene study, which you heard Richard talk about yesterday. There is no gay gene, Dr. Francis Collins. And the tolerance of homosexuals, they demand tolerance, but those who demand tolerance possess it the least. Those who demand it the most possess it the least. I have been assaulted physically. I was married, I'm now divorced, but when I was married, they said, we're going to sodomize your children. We're going to rape your kids. I don't have any kids, but but that's the things they would say to me. In fact, they loved the fact that when I got the divorce, they decided to post it on the internet, the divorce decree, because it's online. So they went ahead and got it and posted it everywhere. These are the nice, tolerant, happy people, So it's just amazing the things that they do and how they do it. And we're under a lot of attack, and we take a lot of stuff. I know at one point I was in New Jersey. I was, they were going to put the It's a Family video in one of the school districts, and the parents rose up and threw a fit. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I just want to do this. So I wasn't going to say anything. I just showed up in New Jersey. I just got off a plane, got the rental car, drove all the way down to Evesham Township, and got down there, and a guy named Stephen Goldstein, as Arthur is acquainted, he is the head of Garden State Equality, a real tolerant chap, not. So the press was there, and I went and introduced myself to Stephen in front of the press, and I gave him my card. And on my card then, I hadn't moved to New Jersey yet. I still had my 513 area code from Cincinnati. And so he gets up there and he says, and he even actually got up there, and I wasn't even going to say anything. I was just there to support the parents and let them know that the New Jersey Family Policy Council was watching. And he got up there and he said, there's even a guy in here with a 513 area code that thinks he can change me. I said, okay, you smart aleck, all right. So I got up in line, I went up there, and I hobbled up there, and as he went past me, I patted him on the shoulder and said, thank you for the introduction. And so I got up there, and I said, hello, my name is Greg Quinlan, I've only been introduced as the area code. And so I started saying, and I said, and I am an ex-gay. Well, there's a couple of lesbians over here right next to me who were heckling me, laughing loudly, you know, just exaggerated laughter. I said, isn't it amazing how those who demand tolerance the most possess it the least? And then she's being gabbled down by the superintendent of the schools. And she goes, I'm tolerant, I'm tolerant. I said, no, you're not. And I was able to say what I needed to say. See, we've got to stop being afraid of being called a name. But at the same time, too, we have to learn the balance of knowing what it is to be Jesus, to be that light, to have the truth of God in our hearts, in our minds, and not lose it. And there are times, I want to tell you, I want to lose it. I do. There have been a couple times I have lost it. But anyway, I didn't hit anybody. I just yelled a lot. But, you know, it's just, there comes a point where, you know, it's so much you can take and then you just go on with it. One of the other things, too, I did, just to give you another quick story, I introduced a bill, got a bill introduced when I was in Ohio to ban homosexual adoption and foster parenting. And I did that because we won a case in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in Florida that upheld that ban in the state of Florida. So we had the bill, and I got interviewed for it by USA Today, and I never thought anything more of it. And then in February of that year, I think it was 05, in February of 05, sure enough, it showed up on a Thursday morning right above the fold. And now I've said a lot of things, a lot of red meat that would cause a lot of people to, you know, get some attention. I even called the governor of Ohio. That was on the front page, too, of the Columbus Dispatch. I said he went whoring for votes, but anyway, that's another story. So I said a lot of red meat things, and it's gotten published. But this thing was one of the most innocuous. You know, I would have thought, I can't even believe it even got quoted. But it was front page above the fold, USA Today. It said, Greg Quinlan, president of Pro Family Network, said, now that we have defined what marriage is, what a family is, I think we should put children in that definition. And that's what I was answering a question, why did I do this? That's why I think we should put children in that definition of a man and a woman, household of that. You would have thought I called somebody the N-word. You would have thought I had said the nastiest thing, every racial epitaph, every unpolitically correct thing to say. So that very night that showed up, I'm supposed to speak at John Carroll University Law School up in Cleveland. And when I get there, they're there, signs everywhere, you know. The security of the university had to escort me into the building, and it had a guard stand next to my pitiful little Jeep, which all you had to do was touch it for it to fall apart. And, you know, they had to stand a guard there just so I could finish my talk and then drive back home. This is the tolerance of, you know, you disagree with me, then they go after you full hilt. And the thing about that is that that's part of the design. They train you to do exactly that. So that's it. I'm done. Unless you got a question. Thank you. So they have time. They have 7 minutes. So I guess.